Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
And welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw. My co-host Sean Liang is currently out. He's doing what he does best. He's being an actor. However, I am joined by resident kaiju expert and multimedia director of cultureshock.com, Mr. Dan Wickwire.
How's it going, folks?
Hey, everybody! I was hoping you were going to do your best Minilla/Minya impersonation.
I'll do that later. It'll come in time.
God, I mean, all you have to do is just imitate Barney Fife. And you're pretty much halfway there. So today we're going to be continuing our Kaiju Movie Month with a look at All Monsters Attack from 1969. It is also known as Gojira Minilla Gabara Oru Kaiju Daishin Geki. That's the original Japanese title. It was also released stateside as Godzilla's Revenge. Man, it's got like 4 different titles.
Don't forget All Monsters Attack.
Oh yeah, and then All Monsters Attack as well. Shit, it's like that Tom Cruise movie that came out where it was Edge of Tomorrow, Eat, Sleep, Kill,
yeah.
And then it had like one other, like, fuck, God. But before we talk about All Monsters Attack and the magic that is Minya/Minilla, have you been watching anything this week, Dan?
No, not really. I don't watch things. I'm boring.
Jesus. I mean, I could suggest some things for you to watch. Do you have Netflix?
I do.
You should watch Bob Ross.
I love Bob Ross.
Yeah. We'll put a happy little tree over here. God bless my friend.
Oh my gosh.
I love Bob Ross.
Too. He's, oh God. I completely forgot they put him on there.
Yes. I mean, such a just chill fucking guy. Chill as chill can be, man. Oh, but nothing, huh?
Nothing at all. I'm boring. I watch YouTube stuff. That's literally all I do. My wife watches things. I don't watch his things.
Well, I mean, I watch a lot of stuff. I was actually, for last week, I have been in the great city of Toronto. That is Toronto, not Toronto. You have to say it the way the locals say it, not the way us staters say it.
Well, they would know.
Yeah, Toronto, not Toronto. I put emphasis on the Ronto.
Toronto.
And I was up there for Comic-Con and just to visit and met up with Mike White of the Projection Booth podcast. He's been on here a couple times as our guest. So I met up with him. Also met with another good friend of mine. He has been a guest co-host a couple times on the Kulturecast, Mr. Tim Burns. And it was a lot of fun. Toronto is definitely a interesting city. It is like New York, but not dirty, and the people are nice. And it's less of a garbage can full of humans.
I just like, it's not dirty.
I hate New York City.
Never been there.
I hate it. Yeah, well, let me put it this way. Don't go out of your way.
Fair enough. Duly noted.
Don't rush out to go to New York City.
Had no plans to.
But as for watching stuff, didn't really get to watch a whole lot of anything. Watched some episodes of Ancient Aliens in our hotel room. But that's really it. I mean, Ancient Aliens is always good for a laugh or two, but that's really it. However, I did get a chance to watch All Monsters Attack / Godzilla's Revenge. So I think we should talk about that because I feel like we're going to have a lot to say about it.
Okay, I'm all for it. I got many words to say about this film.
I can only imagine.
Oh, yes.
So the film came out in 1969. It is directed by Ishiro Honda, who did direct the original Godzilla from 1954. The film stars... I don't even think there's a point in mentioning the actors.
No.
I mean, there is.
I mean, there's notable ones. The only one I can really think of is like Kenji Sahara because he's been in a bunch of other Godzilla films, but...
And Godzilla was played by Haru Nakajima.
Yep, it is.
Who played Godzilla in the first Godzilla film as well.
Yep.
And multiple Godzilla films. And you met him.
I did. I actually met him. When did we? I'm trying to think. It was not long ago. At the end of July.
Like a month ago.
Yeah.
Month and a half ago.
Something like that. He was a very nice gentleman. He's getting up there in his years.
But it's awesome to see he's still doing cons.
Yes, he is. I mean, it was a bucket list thing to be able to meet him because I know he is getting older. Actually, a lot of the other actors do it as well. So it's kind of it's very exciting.
Wow. And I mean, you got to meet your bucket list person. I got to meet my bucket list person. It's always kind of a little surreal to meet your bucket list people in person. I would say, at least for me, it was for sure.
I don't know what your experience was like. I was just worried that I was going to start like foaming at the mouth, like shaking and convulsing and pass out and make a scene, as people would refer to it.
I mean, so my bucket list was Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. And I mean, I was having to keep myself composed, like you said. I was very worried that I was going to start like crying, if that makes sense.
I got very excited as well, but I was just like, I'm just going to keep this short, simple, very direct, and try not to take up too much of his time because I'm just that kind of person. Like, I don't want to waste people's time or be like disrespectful. I was just like, So I'm like, okay, let's just finish this.
But I mean, it's awesome to meet these, people that are involved in things that, as a fan, you really love.
Oh, exactly. I mean, we've always talked about for years, Angela and I, we're going to go to Godzilla Fest, which they have in Chicago every year. I've been trying to go forever and a day. It seems like every time we try to go, something happens. Like something comes up and we can't go. And it's just been my luck for it. So.
Well, I mean, I love Comic-Cons, and I think that if you're listening to this and you've never been to a Comic-Con, it is an experience that either you go and you hate it and you never want to go again, or you go and you love it and you go, once or twice, or in my case, 3 times in the span of 3 months because you're a crazy person.
Well, at least I don't know if you've been on the other side of that coin, but I have. Me and Angela were the anime convention was in Lincoln, then it moved to Omaha for reasons. The first year I helped, second year I was attended, third year Angela and I helped, and the fourth year we were in part of guest relations. So I've been on both sides. I've attended conventions and I've worked at a convention or conventions. So
yeah, I don't think I could bring myself to work at a convention. That seems like a nightmare.
It was.
Yeah, yeah, and I tried some of the ones that I've been to for being poorly organized, but I can understand why they are, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it's just. I didn't set it up, but looking back, it was a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, of course. It's a bunch of moving parts.
I won't go into who it was, but we scarred a guest, scarred them for life. I'll tell you the story at some point, but not today. Is not that day.
Well, we got a little off topic, so let's come back to Godzilla. All Monsters Attack came out in 1969, directed by Ishiro Honda, written by Shinichi Sakizawa, and the only really notable actor is Haru Nakajima, who played Godzilla in the original Godzilla film and some of the subsequent sequels. The IMDb synopsis for the film is: a bullied schoolboy dreams of traveling to Monster Island, where he befriends Godzilla's son, who is also having bully troubles.
A place feared by men the world over. A land of danger and terror. All within the mind of a child. Travel to the treacherous Monster Island. See cataclysmic confrontations as Godzilla Godzilla tackles a host of motley mutants. Who dares to oppose Godzilla? Experience true adventure in Godzilla's Revenge.
Dan, like I mentioned in the intro, you're our resident kaiju expert. You used to do kaiju movie reviews. You can check those out over on the site. We put them up last year during October. So I am very curious what your thoughts are on this.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror. We'll cover all the subgenres, so join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
This film, because I have some very strong opinions about it for sure.
I don't like it, and most people don't. Even in like the kaiju fandom, most people are like, this movie's just awful. And there's reasons why it's awful other than the fact that it's just awful. But like a part of me when I was younger, I enjoyed the movie. But as I get older, I did not like the film. And I'll watch it on occasion because I still got that nostalgia soft spot for it. But it is genuinely the worst Godzilla movie ever made, a proper Godzilla film. It's just terrible.
Now, I watched it in English dubbed, and I know that you can watch it in Japanese with English dubs or English subtitles. I'm assuming that doesn't help.
Actually, it's much more tolerable in Japanese for me because there's a lot of things in the Japanese language that doesn't translate very well.
Oh, of course. I mean, to English, of course, that's with any language.
Exactly. But when voice actors try to convey those things, and most of the voice actors for Godzilla movies back in the day, even now, are usually not good. They're just not good voice actors. They use sometimes they have their own voice acting crew they use for like Malaysian releases, and it's just terrible. It's like an international dub, and it's awful. But it's better in Japanese, marginally, but it's better in Japanese.
Yeah, one of the issues with this movie, the horrible kind of jumbled plot line notwithstanding, because that's a huge part of this movie being terrible. The voice acting is god awful.
Oh god.
I mean the voice acting, the English dubs of specifically Tomo Nori Yazaki, who plays Ichiro Mickey, the little child. I mean, it's grating.
Oh god, it's bad. See, go ahead.
And then on top of that, the person who does the voice of Minilla / Minya, because he was renamed Minya in the American film, correct?
That's correct.
For whatever reason, is there a reason behind renaming him Minya?
I don't know. Maybe make it easier for kids to pronounce. Because if they would have translated directly, they probably would have said it was Minilla. They would have said Manira. Because for some reason, when English people translate Japanese, they think every LR is instantly an R when it comes over. I don't know. I think it just did it just to make it easier. I have no clue.
I mean, it's terrible.
Yes.
The name Minilla makes sense because it's mini Godzilla.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then they change it to Minya.
I'm sure there's a reason for it that I couldn't find it in my time that I had to research it, and it's probably out there. And if I asked the correct people, I could get that information. I just don't know what it is. I think it's dumb, but whatever.
And it doesn't. It's not like it really hurts the quality of the film, but as a fan, it upsets you, right?
Well, I don't know. Like I'm not like a hardcore purist like a lot of people. I don't know. I shouldn't say a lot of people. There are some people that are. That doesn't bother me. I grew up knowing Minya and Minilla, and I can interchange them as easily as any other thing. But it doesn't offend me. It doesn't really bother me. It's just kind of one of those things. It is what it is, and whatever. But I'm not like rage quit about it or nothing. So
well, and that's my thing. Is almost the name change seems extremely unnecessary.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, it happens all the time. It was like back in the second Godzilla film was released It was originally Godzilla Raids Again, but was released in the States. It was released as Gigantus the Fire Monster. And I think it had something to do with a copyright claim issue or something in those regards. I don't remember 100% sure. I haven't looked it up in a while. So you'll have to forgive me. But there was another odd naming change that really made little to no sense whatsoever.
Well, yeah, and with this movie, I feel like it's the exact same way. I mean, they changed the name from Minilla to Minya. And Minilla, like I said, Minilla makes sense, but Minya doesn't.
Is the name it's like Minilla? Is that like a copyright thing, like a Manila envelope?
No, that's Manila. This is Minilla, Minilla, Mini Godzilla.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know what the point is. That's the problem. Well, and when you watch this movie, the name of the character is not the problem.
Oh no. Godzilla says I should learn to fight my own battles,
Well, and that I think is the thing that I walked away from this movie. And I saw this movie when I was a kid.
Sorry.
Yeah. I had a bunch of those like Godzilla VHSs when I was a kid.
Yep.
The ones that came out in like the mid 90s. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yes.
This movie, I distinctly remember this movie. This movie is really bad.
Oh God, it did not age at all.
It has not. It didn't. It didn't. It hasn't not aged. Like people are like, oh, this movie didn't age well. This movie was terrible then. It's terrible now.
Of course. Oh my God. It's funny. They tried it in the late 60s. Godzilla was not popular. I mean, it was becoming unpopular. The franchise was. I mean, they made like a movie almost every year for X amount of time. There were some breaks, but in the 60s, it was literally like a run of just Godzilla every year. I don't have a problem, but other people did. Well, they had other monster movies out at the time. One of them was Gamera. Gamera was the closest imitator, the next popular one to Godzilla. Well, what they thought is, well, those are doing okay, so let's imitate our imitator, and albeit Godzilla's Revenge is better than almost every one of the old Gamera movies, why would you imitate your imitator?
Well, and that's the question, right? Is it's clearly diminishing, quality when you try to rip someone else off.
Yes. And then I never liked I've always been against the Godzilla friend of children BS. I hate that. Gosh, it drives me nuts.
Oh, you mean this movie?
Well, yeah, I mean,
let me put it this way. The Godzilla movie that I watched last week, Godzilla 1954, Godzilla is killing people.
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes to this movie where it's Godzilla, like, helping his son learn how to fight off bullies, who then, helps a small Japanese child fight off bullies. Like, there's such a huge disconnect with the two characters of Godzilla.
Well, it is. I mean, and I don't know how much you've, through all the time. I know you watched them when you're younger, and obviously I'm sure you don't make a habit of watching them much anymore these days, aside from when, you're obligated to. But
well, you say it that way.
Well, Godzilla has gone through many different forms. Like originally, he in his best form, I think, is a metaphor for the atomic bomb. He's an analogy. I mean, that's what he is. I mean, that's all he's ever been. But he went from that to a monster to fight other monsters, to the defender of Earth, to a friend of children, back to a defender of Earth, to a force of nature, back to a metaphor for World War II. He's jumped around a lot. I'll just say that.
Well, and this version of him makes so little sense to me that it's astounding.
Well, even it was like how many movies was it? Was this one? It was, I think, of 3 Godzilla movies off the top of my head that strike the same chord as this movie. This one being the worst, hands down. And honestly, it's not even the kids stuff that is my biggest pet peeve about this movie. But it's this one, Godzilla versus Hedorah, or Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, which was the next movie after this, and then Godzilla versus Megalon, which was 3 movies after this. Yeah, and those were the 3. They're really kid centric, and it bothers me. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I don't understand what the point of this movie is, because, like I said, you have Godzilla 1954. Then this movie is the 10th Godzilla film.
15 years later.
Right, 15 years later. And you have this Godzilla he's absolutely neutered as a character. And he doesn't even appear in his own movie for very long.
No, and the funny thing is, the best part about all this, and this is actually my biggest problem with the movie, almost most of the footage of the kaiju, like Godzilla fighting other kaiju, like when he fights Ebirah, the sea monster, or Kamacuras, the giant mantises, and Kumonga, the giant spider, and stuff like that, and what is it? Not Otachi. The giant condor. That's all stock footage. None of that's from that movie. That's all taken from old movies. They recycle all that footage. And that is my biggest problem with the movie.
Well, and it's pretty obvious they're recycling old footage when everything is taking place off screen and Godzilla and Minilla never really interact with one another.
Exactly. I mean, towards the end, you see it, like when he's teaching him to breathe fire. Surprisingly, they didn't use the exact same scene from Son of Godzilla where they did that. And then when they fight Gabara, because he was... Actually, that's one of my favorite parts of the movie is Gabara, because it's a new kaiju, even though it's just a modified Godzilla suit.
You mean, is it? I thought it was Gabara.
It depends on how you pronounce it. I always call it.
You mean Godzilla with a sweet perm?
Exactly. And I will say my favorite thing about, I like Gabara because he's got a little cool lightning attack. He's a punk. He's a punk ass. But anyway, I like his roar. Absolutely love it. It's the only movie he's ever been in too. Only Godzilla movie.
Gabara has only been in this film.
Only one he's ever been in.
And he dies to a seesaw.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm assuming he ran home and died of like a brain aneurysm or something because he has blood clot.
I have to go home now. My planet needs me.
Exactly. Great reference. I like that.
I mean, this movie is not... God, I want to talk about something about this movie that really bugs me.
Okay, fair enough.
The length of this movie. How can you justify this movie existing? This movie is at 1 hour and 9 minutes long. That is barely a movie.
I agree. And I understand back then, like, movies weren't as long as they are today. Like, 2 hours is like the standard, 2.5 hours anymore. But that's still really short.
I mean, it is ridiculously short as a film.
Oh, it hurts.
But to be fair, I didn't feel like I wanted any more when the movie ended.
I was going to ask, do you want it to be longer?
No, I didn't want it to be longer, but I did want them to actually try to tell a story, and the whole story in this film is the child, Ichiro Miki, is, bullied, and then he gets kidnapped by bank robbers. and he's like hallucinating and kind of like going into like this hallucination where he's, walking around on Monster Island with Minya. And that's the whole movie.
Yeah, here's my sum of the movie. Here's what I take from it. It's about a kid that his parents work hard. Actually, speaking of that, there's one line of dialogue that I love in that movie. I pointed out to my wife. I completely forgot it was in the film. At the very beginning, you remember he runs past his dad at the beginning. He's like, "Oh, I gotta work overtime tonight, kid. Don't burn the house down. Mom's gonna be home, whatever, And like his dad gets out and stops later. This was in the Japanese version with subtitles, so I don't remember if it was in the English dub of it. But his stops as his train gets out, and his coworker or whatever says something about it. But there's a line of dialogue that made me is funny to me. He said, "I don't understand kids these days. All we can do anymore is just work all day, and we never have enough time to spend with our kids." And it has nothing to do with the movie to me, but it's funny that even back then, people try to say it's like a modern problem, but it was a problem then, and it was a problem before that. And it's always been a problem, but that's just the only line that I take from this. The only meaningful bit of this whole movie was that line of dialogue.
You've never been there for me, Dad.
But that's what it was. I mean, to go back, it was a kid that's picked on, has no self-confidence or anything like that, and his parents are never around because they're just trying to make ends meet. They're not trying to be horrible parents.
Well, yeah, he's a latchkey kid.
He is. And then there's the neighbor next door that just tries to help out, makes toys, and tries to help the kid out, like a substitute father, if you will, whatever. And at the end of it, Minya just teaches him to be a dickhead and beat people up and vandalize other people's property.
And Minya, and then there's this kind of strange moment where Minya, like, he's channeling Minya by attacking the bank robbers with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
And it's like overlaying Minya and him on the same screen.
Yep.
This movie is really hard to watch.
It is. It really is. It doesn't bother me because I've seen much worse. And it does exist, sadly, but no, that it's just a weird movie. Like, it didn't know what it wanted to do. Like, I feel it had a message, but it got diluted somewhere along the way. Like,
well, and when I walk away from this movie, all I can really think about is the effects aren't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're really not, right?
No, for the year.
All things considered, they're not terrible. I mean, they're kind of what I've come to expect at this point from a Godzilla film.
Mm-hmm.
The story is really what drags this movie down, and having watched it with the American dub with the terrible voice acting, I mean, that is really what drags this movie down for me.
It is. They should have built on a little bit more on and this is going to sound terrible and stereotypical, and I don't know if they would have done this back then, but like, clearly the kid has some kind of emotional problem or a mental hindrance. I know it sounds terrible because of the relationship he has with his parents. Like you said, latchkey.
Right, he's a total latchkey kid, and he's attaching himself to Minya.
Yeah, and
who is not a good. that's not someone I would want as my
I know, and like it's essentially I know Minya is supposed to be like the monster allegory or whatever for this kid. And and then there's, Minya's like, I don't want to fight Gabara. And like this fat kid with sticky fingers telling him like, yeah, go fight him. It's fine. But he won't stand up for himself. He'll gladly throw Minya under the bus.
Well, and that's the thing is the kid clearly is not, like you said, he's not all there.
No. And I think if they would have focused more on him not, wishing his parents are around. And like, I understand like the dream sequences or hallucinations or whatever you want to call them of him going to Monster Island and hanging out with all the monsters and stuff. That's what he wants to do. It's escapism. I mean, it's like reading comic books or watching television, but I think it was all to build to that, but there wasn't enough of that affecting his life outside of his little dream sequences.
No, and you're completely right. And that's my biggest takeaway from this movie. I feel like they were trying to tell this story, this kind of deep story about this kid who is like kind of like a weirdo kid, and his parents aren't there for him, so he turns to his imagination. I feel like that's the story they were trying to tell.
Yeah, and
instead of telling that story, which could have been an interesting story, it's this really strange escapism with Minya, and Minya is, like you said, the monster version of the child. It's just so bad.
It is very much bad. It's terrible. It's so bad.
If someone watched this movie as the first Godzilla movie they'd ever seen, they'd never watch another Godzilla movie. Ever.
Yes, I concur. 100%.
Right? Like, I don't think if this were the first Godzilla movie I ever watched, I would fucking watch another Godzilla movie.
Exactly. Yep. Well, if I was little, I wouldn't have cared. I mean, I would say honestly, if I was much older,
right? I saw this when I was a little kid, so I don't remember it very well, but I do remember enough of it to know I had seen it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, but I grew up around watching these crappy monster movies, but if I was older and I watched it, I'd be like, maybe not so much. Maybe I'll let this go. Because I would assume everyone would be like this, and that's definitely not the image you want to portray for your series.
Yeah, and that's the real problem with this movie is if you watch this movie right after you watch the original Godzilla, which is exactly what happened, it makes me question what in the hell they were thinking.
And that was something, like I said, I answered a little bit earlier on in this, is they were trying to imitate Gamera, and I don't remember if you guys have got to that point yet, but Gamera was kind of a similar thing. It was a big monster, came about by nuclear explosion, not really made from it, but was released by it. But he always had a soft spot for kids, and it was the worst part about the entire old Gamera series. He was always like friend of kids. Those movies are worse than Godzilla's Revenge. Every single one of them. I don't care what anybody says. All of the old Gamera movies are awful movies. I love them, but they're bad. But that's what they are. They're just like this movie. Think of this movie, but like 8 times. It was made 8 times.
Well, and I don't understand where they got the idea that they need to be having Godzilla be friend to children.
Well, I'm assuming at the time, from what I've
even though he's not like directly friend to children, his son is. So it's his de facto kind of representative.
Well, speaking of that, yeah, that actually reminds me of something. The movie before this was supposed to be the last Godzilla movie. It was Destroy All Monsters, was what became before us. And I think they did this other one just to kind of get some more money. And Gamera was popular, so they emulated that formula. Like you said, not directly with Godzilla, but with his son, which is a little more accessible because it's a younger monster figure associating with a little kid. But no, I understand what they were trying to do, like from my research, but they did it entirely wrong. And they should have never done it in the first place because they ruined the character.
So where does this rank for you in Godzilla films? I know you said it's the worst one, but is that your absolute takeaway?
I have movies I strongly dislike of all the Godzilla, like of proper Godzilla movies. And the 1998 one with Matthew Broderick is not a proper Godzilla film, and it never will be.
It's an Americanized Godzilla.
It is. And Toho, of course, the company that owns the rights to Godzilla, has even gone out after the movie and renamed the character to just Zilla. That's his name now. It's not Godzilla, it's just Zilla. And he's been in a Godzilla movie, actually, now that I mention it. But no, it is.
Yeah, the American Godzilla got murdered.
Yes, in Godzilla Final Wars. It was a wonderful scene with Sum 41 playing in the background. It was freaking hilarious. Loved it. But no, I still stand by my statement. This is the worst one. This is the one I probably rewatched the least, and I don't really ever go out of my way to watch it.
And I completely understand why. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, and if I wanted to watch a movie like this, I'd watch Gamera, and that's just what I would do. But that's not what I want my Godzilla to be. I mean, the closest movie to this that I like are the other two that are similar, but they're not nearly as bad.
Well, and I mean, this, like I said, this movie is absolutely just terrible.
Oh,
there's nothing redeeming about this movie.
Like I said, the only redeeming quality for me is just I like Gabara or Gabara, however you want to pronounce it. That's the only thing I like from this movie.
Gabara.
Gabara.
Well, that's what they were saying in the American version.
And I don't...
was
good.
Gabara over and over again.
Yeah, and that's probably how you pronounce it. That's just how I say it. And I apologize, that's probably wrong because I'm not putting the right accent or whatever on it. But yeah, that's the only thing I like about it.
Well, and to be perfectly honest, there's very little to like about this movie.
Oh, no. Like I said, I watch it for a trip down memory lane. I think little kids would enjoy it because of what it is. My kids like watching it. That's cool. That's what I liked watching when I got older. When I was younger... When I got older, like I said, this is the first time I watched this movie in probably 5 years, 6 years. It's been a long time. Maybe longer. I don't even know. When it first came out on DVD, when they re-released it on DVD, don't remember when that was. That was the last time I watched it.
Yeah, it's for someone whose only other Godzilla film that they remember as an adult having watched was 1954, last week. This film is so stark, like such a stark contrast that it really makes me wonder, like, who was in charge of the character's direction.
And it's unfortunately it was Tomoyuki Tanaka, and he has been with the series since the beginning, and that's the problem. Like he was one of the pioneering ideas behind, what Godzilla was, and that's like the biggest thing about it. Like it just...
I can't imagine going and seeing this film in theaters.
Oh gosh, I couldn't even. Oh,
right. I mean, it must have been absolute, just like a fucking joke.
I wonder if my dad did. He was around during that time. I gotta ask him. Oh, I bet you it was double billed too. I looked that up. Here's a weird contrast because you got Godzilla's Revenge, clearly a kids movie, and the movie that was double billed with was Night of the Big Heat, or also known as Island of the Burning Damned. It was double billed with this movie.
With like a British Hammer horror film.
Yeah, and then later it actually was re-billed with War of the Gargantuas, a vastly superior movie on every level.
Yeah, I really don't get it. And, walking away from this movie, as much as I love kind of Minilla as like a design and just the ridiculousness, I mean, I view Minya the same way I view Scrappy Doo.
Oh, God.
It's just like he's so fucking obnoxious, but in like a way that I can't help but love him. I mean, Minya looks terrible. And we haven't even talked about what he looks like, but Minya looks as a character design, his mouth does not move. Like most of the time. It's terrible puppetry, and it takes me completely out of the movie.
And that was actually like the biggest thing. Like, I look at Minya's design, and even when I was little, I wondered where the hell are they going with this? Because that's what I felt like. I see how Godzilla looks, and I kind of see the parallel with Minya, but he's like a bipedal shaved walrus.
He's strange to look at. He looks like a Godzilla with like problems. I am like it's just like he looks so strange. He looks like a ball of like clay with eyes on it.
It looks.
Actually, I mean, what he really looks like is it looks like an unfinished design.
It does. I agree. I was gonna say, you made a joke about Godzilla Jr. earlier. At least Godzilla Jr. looked like Godzilla. Minya doesn't really look.
Godzilla Jr. is just like a small Godzilla.
Yeah, this doesn't look anything like Godzilla.
It is really an upsetting design.
It hurts.
And it has like these weird like buck teeth on top of everything else. It's strange. It doesn't help the movie, fix any of the problems. Let's put it that way.
It just compounds them. It really.
Yeah, it really does.
Even as I will say this, and everybody, like you said, you have an affinity or a slight affinity for Minya, be it in a goofy, so annoying you can't help but like him kind of way. I can say I've never liked Minya ever. Even as a kid, I never associated with Minya.
Well, it feels like a ploy for children, so I don't blame you. I know why. It's obvious why Minya exists. Let's put it that way.
Oh yes.
He exists to be more accessible to children.
Yeah, and I will tell you, the movie he was originally from, Son of Godzilla, great movie, brilliant movie.
Well, I guess it's no better time to ask you then, skip it or watch it, and best performance.
Skip it, hands down. Is there somebody I can give best performance to?
I mean, if you can't find anyone, you can always say no one.
I give it to Haru for playing Godzilla because he's the man and he knows what he's doing. That's my best performance. I ain't giving it to any of the people in this movie. They're terrible. No, I take that back. I will say that there are some people I like. I was always fond of Kenji Sahara. It was the kid's dad on the train. You see him like twice in the movie, but I've loved the other work he's in. He's been in a lot of other Godzilla movies. If I had to be a human character, I'd give it to him, but I hate kid characters in Japanese monster movies. There's a joke in N-word called Kenny's. It started from Gabara. It's annoying, loud, obnoxious kids. And that's what he classifies out. I can't stand him. So Godzilla or Kenji Sahara. Hands down.
And for me, I mean, if you can't come to this conclusion on your own, it's a total skip. It's not a good movie. It is contrasting against the Godzilla film that I watched last week. That movie is about as good as kaiju movies get. And this movie is about as bad as kaiju movies get, I'm sure.
On that note, don't ever watch a movie called Super Monster Gamera. It is the worst kaiju movie I have ever personally seen in my entire life.
Worse than this?
Oh, by a very large margin. This is watchable. That's not. Not at all. And I'm lenient. I'm lenient on my crappy movies.
It's barely watchable.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, watchable. I'm using that very loosely. But yeah, this movie it's bad. Really bad.
And for best performance, I have to give it to Marchan the dwarf.
Yes, because he played Minya, right?
Yeah, because he was in the suit. He was in the Minya suit. And I am sure that Minya suit was fucking uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, because I think he played Minya in the other performances, too. Son of Godzilla and Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kudos to that man. Very good.
He's been Minya since Minya was a thing. So
they're good. Kudos to that gentleman. I always forget about the actor that played him because that's got to be a heck of a thing to do.
What do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Probably because it's very low.
You want to give it a guess?
I'm gonna say sub 35%. Wait, who are we talking about? Are we talking about
Godzilla's?
I mean, are we talking about just
critics?
Okay, critics. Sub 35.
29%. But most of those reviews have been in our contemporary reviews.
Is there any like aged reviews?
Not on Rotten Tomatoes that I could see.
Okay, I didn't know. What about user or audience score?
18%.
Wow, that's nice. That's good. That's
even better.
Yeah, they
even lower, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow! It's just a testament to this movie. It's just not good.
Oh gosh. No, it's
not. This is not a good movie. Not a good movie at all. Well, before I talk about this Thursday's Kulturecast, Dan, is there anything you want to plug?
Yes. I, being multimedia director, I stream video games for Kultureshock.com, part of the Kulturecast, of course. I do that every Wednesday and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. My Twitch channel which is where I do all my streaming from, is twitch.tv/Roehm, ROEHM_21. On there, you'll find links to my YouTube, which I archive my videos on my YouTube and Twitch, and links to my Twitter if you want to see what the heck I'm doing. That's my plug. Oh, I actually have another one if I can. I almost forgot.
Go for it.
If you have any interest, legitimate interest in like the special effects work behind Godzilla, Ajit Subaraya, who designed Godzilla, the way Godzilla looked originally, and has started that whole lineage. If you want to read a really good book, don't really know the man much personally. I know him from a distance. He did a book called Ajit Subaraya, Master of Monsters. His name's August Ragone. He is the man for Japanese special effects film tokusatsu, and go check out his book. It's really, really good.
And you can follow me on Twitter at CultureStash. And if you like what you're hearing now, head on over to cultureshock.com/Kulturecast to check out 100+ episodes of the Kulturecast. You can also check us out on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and every podcast app that's available in either Android and iOS store. The music that you hear at the beginning and end of the Kulturecast is from our good friends over at Wovoka. That is their song Lament off of their self-titled first album. You can check them out over at wovoka.bandcamp.com if you want to check out their other works and buy their CDs. They're some good guys. You should definitely check them out. And as always, if you want to help give us a couple dollars so we can feed Minya, head on over to patreon.com/culture_shocked to help us out. Keep the lights on and keep Minya and Godzilla happy. Every little bit helps. This Thursday, we're going to be joined by none other than Dan's brother, Zach, Mr. Senior Editor for the Kulturecast, to talk about the original Gabara film, which I'm assuming is a good movie.
No, probably not.
But well, shit.
Okay, well, I don't know. Just watch it.
Well, it's if you said it's bad, I believe you.
Yeah.
So Jesus Christ.
Just watch it. Just watch it.